You get two choices in life. You get to buy US dollars or you get to buy Bitcoin. Which do you think has unlimited upside? My view is that we have a 100-year history of having dollars go down in value. They just continue to get less and less and less valuable, yet Bitcoin continues to go up. Bitcoin has unlimited upside, and the US dollar and every other fiat currency has unlimited downside. That's why you buy Bitcoin. So why do I think Bitcoin has unlimited upside? Now, what does that mean, actually, unlimited upside? You have to consider what is the period of time we're talking about also, okay? I mean, if we say 30 years, unlimited upside. We have a market cap today in Bitcoin of $1.2 trillion. You have a global asset market, I think, that is at least $400 to $500 trillion in size. I mean, let alone the United States has a $35 trillion debt. So none of these numbers are real, by the way. They're not measurable. These numbers are so large now, one would suspect that they're off by a good 20, 30, 40%. Who knows? It's all monopoly money. It's all monopoly money. See, that's what you have to really, really understand. That literally you should just go buy a monopoly game and realize that you're the banker, which means you're the Federal Reserve, and you get to keep taking money from the box, all that stack of money that's sitting in there, and you allocate it to yourself, and everybody else on the board is just constantly just going to jail, paying the get out of jail fees, trying to, run a little ice cream stand, and then you have a hurricane and it blows away. There's so much risk to running a business. You guys that think you want to run a business, I got to tell you, okay, it is the last thing you want to do. There's less than 3% of the people that build businesses are ever successful. Grant and I were arguing about this the other day. I think it's more likely for you to become at 5'3", and you're 28 years old, an NBA superstar basketball player than it is for you to become a successful entrepreneur over and over and over. Can you have a one-hit wonder? Can you buy a business and then sell it? And can you buy a piece of real estate and buy it and then flip it and sell it? That does not make you a career business person, right? It also doesn't mean that you have a long-term career of unlimited upside. Bitcoin allows me to continue doing what I do really well, right? There's a few skills I have. If I can take those skills and put them into an industry or industries, and then I can generate Bitcoin, I can generate US dollars or pound sterling or euros or Chinese whatever, Russian whatever, that then allows me to go out and invest in Bitcoin. So I'm literally being able to, I have my own private business or public business. I make fiat. I then take that fiat, and this is why I'm pretty negative on the Bitcoin mining business, which we're going to do a show on here soon. Why would I own Bitcoin miner or be in the mining business that requires 2 to 3 years of capital costs, 2 to 3 years of lead time, 2 to 3 years of me making sure I buy the right machines at the right time in the right cycle? And let's hope that there's not a hurricane that wipes out half my facilities. Let's hope there's not regulation that shows up and changes. Let's hope that the power curve works and the cycles, the 4-year halving cycle works such that my Bitcoin mining business is profitable. And let's just hope that my shares that are extremely violent in the Bitcoin mining world, that I'm able to exit those shares at the exact right time of the marketplace and be capable of paying the capital gains associated with those earnings. I can buy Bitcoin that probably has the ability to go from $1 trillion to 50 trillion. It most certainly can't go to zero. Bitcoin has something unique in it. It has 8 zeros after the decimal point. I can assure you 21 million units. Gary Cardone is a buyer at a penny. for all of those units. Like under no circumstances can I not afford 21 million Bitcoin at a penny. Somebody do the math on that, okay? I should have done that a long time ago. Should have done it at a quarter. Okay, so, okay, and let's say that I break and I can't afford a penny. Someone's going to bid 1/10 of a penny. This can't go to zero. The reason crude oil, natural gas, and electricity go to zero and negative is because there aren't any decimal points. There's only 2.01. So what happens is that in an event where power is just spewing into the system, people are gonna literally get paid to reduce production of power because there's just nowhere to go. There's no, hey, I'm going to give you 1 penny for it. No, it's going to cost me 1,700 pounds to turn off this power station so that I can take this excess energy in the market. Bitcoin has a finite supply. Okay, you have never seen a product. If you can find a product that has a finite supply that cannot be increased in volume in any 1 minute, hour, or day based on price, you have a product that can't be artificially created, placed into the marketplace like paper gold or paper silver. You can't just make up the Bitcoin and accelerate the volume that's in the market. That is extremely unique. There's no price. You could take Bitcoin to $8 million tomorrow morning and you can't mine more Bitcoin. You're going to mine 250 Bitcoin tomorrow and you're not going to do 251. I think that's the number, 250. You're not going to do 251 no matter what the price is. So that tells me game theory at some point with 19.6, 19.7 million Bitcoin being issued already and in the market, whether they're in wallets or they're in an exchange, they are in the market. In order to accelerate the volume of Bitcoin into the market, there's only one way to do it, and that is to bid the price such that I acquire Bitcoin from someone else's wallets or position. And there is no, I'm getting new Bitcoin issued in the market. Therefore, you can't dilute Bitcoin's price. At some point, this thing should go parabolic and get us at a base price, I think, in the $3 trillion range, which would be 2.5 times the price of Bitcoin today. I personally think that happens in the next 2 years. You'll see a 2.5% increase, 2.5 times increase in Bitcoin. You'll be roughly $3 trillion market cap. That's roughly a third of what gold is, assuming that you give gold 100% credit for half the market value being in jewelry. So there's 3 uses really for gold. The 2 primary uses are jewelry, and the other is store value. So there's some industrial, military use for gold. To me, it's not that big of a deal. So I assume gold is roughly $6 trillion in size. Bitcoin being $3 trillion. It's already bigger than silver. I think silver is roughly $1 trillion. So now we have a $1.3 trillion Bitcoin market. Can Bitcoin go up to 100 trillion? It can't go to zero. It most certainly can make its approach to 100 trillion. I think the bond market is 400 trillion. The real estate market in commercial real estate is about 100 trillion, maybe 150 trillion, and residential real estate's worth 100 trillion. There's 1.3 trillion to $1.5 trillion of commercial real estate this year that's rolling over, that has to get refinanced. 1.3 trillion. Do you really think that no one doing the 1.3 trillion in financing is going to look at Bitcoin and go, hey, this is a unique piece of real estate? The only difference is it doesn't generate a yield. Now, having said that, if you bought real estate in 2021, commercial real estate, it's 1.3 trillion that needs to be refinanced. You own some real estate right now. You're getting buried. Okay. real estate doesn't always go up forever and ever for anyone. You can lose money in real estate. Okay. It's a falsity that you can't lose money in real estate. It absolutely can lose, and there are going to be losers. There's 1.3 trillion that's getting ready to roll over, and all of that is at a loss. And those buyers, and this is the other reason I love Bitcoin, because Bitcoin offers me collateral. I mean, it is the perfect liquidity collateral. I should be able to buy real estate. If you really want to get in the real estate business and you want to talk about unlimited upside, I should be able to buy real estate at 30 cents on the dollar on a Saturday afternoon when other people are trying to put the money together for Monday. I should be able to do deals when other people can't transact. It's instant liquidity. No one's ever seen instant liquidity on this planet, ever. Okay. So to me, it has 12 characteristics that I could spend 2 hours in a video on. It has 12 characteristics, and we are only valuing it right now for one. And that one is that it's a store of value, a perfect store of value. And that's what the ETFs are doing. That's what the options market's doing. That's why you have large super banks, the BNY Mellons of the world, coming into the market going, hey, we think we can custody this. Everyone in the value chain, every major player in the banking world has entered one part of the value chain or another in Bitcoin, bringing me to this conclusion. And maybe this is a bit of a segue from the original topic of why does Bitcoin have unlimited upside? I think I would say it almost differently. Bitcoin has unlimited optionality. Okay, what do I mean by that? I think you have so many availabilities with Bitcoin's liquidity that it can be sold so rapidly and turned into either a stable coin or fiat, truly offering like emergency packages for large transactions that are going bad. I think the optionality of it is a put against the old legacy world. I think it's an insurance policy literally costing me nothing. I get to buy Bitcoin, and in part, it is a hedge against the whole world going down. And what if we're right? What if digital economy is actually taking place? I think it's a call option on the future, a call option that never runs out of time. That is impressive, man. A call option that doesn't decay. All other call options have time decay on them. They expire. This one would afford us the opportunity. This is the cool thing, right? The difference between owning Bitcoin and maybe running private equity. I have to get my timing right on private equity. On this, I can literally not worry about exactly the right timing. I can just keep adding, looking down the road at 3, 4, 5 years, saying, one day, 3 or 4 years from now, no one's going to go into a bank. No one's going to be using fiat. And if they are using fiat, it's a digital fiat. And people are going to want to transact 24/7. And I, for one, would like a currency that has no involvement from any U.S. government or any private institutions that have attached themselves to government, like people with 3-letter words, FED, the Fed. Fed is not a federal entity. It's a private company, and they are controlling the money supply, and they are not controlling Bitcoin. And so that is why Bitcoin has an unlimited upside, because your U.S. dollar is getting trashed, dude. You understand the U.S. dollar will continue to degrade. You're either growing or dying. You remember that saying? You're either growing or dying. Well, guess what? Every time U.S. dollar gets diluted, and 40% of all the U.S. dollars ever created on this planet were created in the last 4 years. 40%. Let's say you like apples. Your wife buys apples twice a week. Y'all have 4 apples in the house. What happens if she brings home 400 apples on a Tuesday? What is the value of those apples to you? Like now those apples have become a problem, okay? The flies show up, the ants show up, you got your refrigerator's got 400 apples in it. All of a sudden you're running around to your neighbors giving apples away. Like you're not paying for apples, you're paying somebody to take them away now. This is exactly what adding US dollars to the pool of dollars, you just keep adding them like, man, I got too many dollars. They're no longer useful. People need more of the dollars to actually make any sense of anything. And they are just getting diluted and diluted and diluted. Take a scotch, pour a double for yourself, and keep putting ice in it and water in it. Sooner or later, you're going to end up with a glass of water. Bitcoin, that shit does not happen.